shockingly responsive tonight. Like, I hit go live in 15 seconds. It's done. We're up.
The
We're
the
on.
YouTube gods are smiling on us.
Yeah, which usually means something's going to go terribly wrong later in the night. But
Yeah, yeah. I hope you said your goodbyes, Jeff.
yeah, usually it's your internet that craps out. So
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 446, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rett.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk home lab, all things that interest us in the world of tech, consumer, enterprise, and beyond. If you've never seen the show before, we do drink alcohol on the show, and hold on, I had something. We do drink alcohol on the show, and if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. And if you like the content you see on the channel, want to help support us in what we do, consider joining the Patreon. That's patreon.com/craftcomputing. That's the only way you can get access to my Discord server and keep the party going with an awesome community of folks that hang out there all throughout the week. Welcome to the show. I don't know what happened. My brain just literally stopped braining for a second. Hold on. Words coming. Difficult. Maybe. There they are.
Activate Wednesday night protocol.
File not found. Precisely. A little bit of data corruption. All right. It's a show. People bringing out some big brews for the night. Cody's got a White Russian with Tito's vodka. And a locally made coffee liqueur. What's the locally made one? I always like finding good local spirits. I've been jamming on... I've been to Astoria here in Oregon on the Oregon coast a couple of times in the last month. And both times I've stopped by Pilot House Distilling, which is an awesome local distillery. And they make some of my favorite gin. I've been having the... oh gosh, what is the name of that? Oh, the Painted Lady. Painted Lady barrel finished gin from them.
Perfect.
Freaking fantastic. So yeah, let me know what the coffee liqueur is. Let's see. Exuded has a little something something from Lagunitas. Excellent
That's a good one.
summertime brew.
Drank that one a lot on this show.
Yes.
We got Dragon's Milk Imperial IPA, 11%. Thank you, Michael. That's
we go.
in a can, no less.
Wow.
In a can. That's impressive.
They've been doing a lot more cans lately for distribution, I've seen.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
really like bottles. Like, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? I know it's like a pure way to drink it, but...
This is going to be divisive in the beer community. Cans are the superior transport method.
Yeah, 100%.
It shouldn't be divisive, but it is.
And here's the thing, like, I'm looking over here at Cody in the super secret Talking Heads Discord chat, which you can access for only $1 a month over on patreon.com. And he's sitting by a pool, which is like, yeah, right? That's great. But you know what really doesn't mix with pools? Broken glass.
Yes.
So you get your canned beverages, you enjoy a nice sit down by the pool. Also, that looks like an epic sunshade in there. I'm gonna have to ask you about some dimensions here, because
that is pretty great.
Maybe my pool's a little bit bigger than yours, potentially, but I want to do something similar. So go ahead and send me some measurements there in the Talking Heads Discord chat.
Hot pool cover talk here in the to start the show. Let's see. Novella's got a Drecker Brewing Content Destroyer Marionberry Farmhouse Ale. 7%, 3.9 on Untapped. We've got... there was one that I wanted to... Was it... Where did Bryn's... Oh, there we go. Bryn, right below it. Cosmic Crisp Non-Alcoholic Cider.
Nice.
Good times, good times. And Cody says it was the Mario's Hard Espresso. handcrafted with love in very small batches.
Original,
yeah,
by the way.
That
Original.
is some epic bottle art on that. Hold on, let me pull that down real quick. There's a way I can share images, and it's very convoluted, but I think I can get there. Hold on. Let me open this with the Firefoxes. There we go. Let me put you back where you belong. Perfect. I have to screw up everything about my setup just to share an image, but... Oh, and then, of course, I forgot to turn on the Firefoxes. There we go. Happens. We did it. Yeah, that's a bottle of coffee liqueur that goes hard.
Yeah, it does.
I like that one. Oh, very fun.
Farm ripped, by the way. That's what he calls that physique there. Farm ripped. According to the back of the bottle. So.
That does kind of describe that.
Yeah.
Rett, what do you got going for tonight?
I'm going to go something easy. I had a couple big beers in my fridge, but I just don't think I can do them today. It's a little hot. It ggets hot in my office. So I've got a Deschutes fresh squeezed IPA. Don't mind the darn AI background blurring that always gets me. But there you go, 6.5%. And then I've got another light beer on deck for when this one's done. So I'm going to drink it straight out of the can. It's a superior transport method. And it's going to superiorly transport this beer directly into my mouth.
Superior transport method, I will say, I prefer drinking out of a glass, and that's not just
depends on the beer.
That's just not because I sell amazing glassware over at craftcomputing.store. But yes, it does depend on the beer. Some I enjoy drinking straight out of a can.
Like a Rainier out of a glass is you're just
wasting.
You're just showing
steps.
off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, how much more pretentious can you get? Now, that being said, if it's on tap, yeah, whatever. Put it into a glass. But most of the time, you're buying those things in a whole case right off the store shelf. And why are you wasting time?
Exactly. But yeah, craftcomputing.store for some very fine quality glassware.
Boom.
I've got one that's going to make Rev's mustache twirl just a little bit. I went ahead and picked up a Great Notion IPA, but not just any Great Notion IPA. I have the Super Overripe Tropical IPA, clocking in at 9.1%. So, Rev, I know you're in chat. I can see you. In fact, he is cracking into a Boulevard Brewing Rye on Rye. Ooh, fantastic choice to you as well, sir. But yeah, super overripe. There we go. There Rev goes. Ooh. I figured you'd approve on this one. And if I sneeze, I apologize. I have something in the back of my right nostril right now. For those seeking way too much information, it is tickling, and I'm not sure when it's going to burst, but at some point it is.
Too much thermal paste earlier.
Probably, yeah. But I could feel it like right here. It's deep in there. So.
You ever neti pot, Jeff? Do you ever use the neti pot?
I have used the neti pot before, yes.
Yeah. It's the way to go. Life-changing.
Yeah. In fact, I might have my wife bring down some nasal spray, and I'm going to jump off camera here for about 10 seconds.
No, this sounds like an on-camera deal, Jeff. We want to watch you wash your insides out.
Yeah, I'm totally having her bring that down. All right. So this is going to be an interesting show. What do we have on the docket for tonight? The FCC is walking back their Gigabit for all plans because why should we make people that we gave a de facto monopoly to compete or even spend money on their own infrastructure when none of it really matters and people are just being... That's too high of a bar to shoot for. So why even bother? Rett, take over for 2 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, so here we are, Ars Technica reporting that the FCC is abolishing gigabit speed, the gigabit speed goal, which was set under the last White House administration, apparently under the suggestion that it is unfair to slower technologies. I don't even know what that means. How is it unfair to slower technologies?
Because corruption.
It says in big bold letters on this news story, if you guys click on the link, gigabit goal prejudicial to satellite and wireless. Is there anybody in the White House who's friends with somebody that owns a satellite internet service provider? Okay, that's just my surface read. I didn't actually read the article yet. I'm reading it for the first time with all of you guys.
Nope, that's precisely what all of that means. You hit the nail on the head, and I didn't even hear half of what you said.
Recently, I not to interrupt you, Jeff, but recently I got myself a little business office, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know what you don't get in a business office? Residential broadband internet. No, you have to get business broadband internet, which apparently comes with service level agreements and all sorts of crap. But
you get all those nines after the decimal. It's great.
Yeah. I'm spending freaking twice as much to get like 25% of the speed that I have at home. And my office is 2 blocks away. This doesn't make sense. However, when I was shopping around, I was blown away by the amount of like 5G home service providers and like things like that.
Yeah.
You and I recently even talked about a 5G home service. There might be something in the works going on, but I guess this is like a thing that like works for people really well. I don't know if I would go for it necessarily. Like Mint Mobile, I almost went with because for maybe it was like $20 a month or something, I could get 5G home internet at my office for like 6 months or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I guess this is interesting that this stuff is popping off. It shows you like the gaps that I have when I keep up with this type of technology, because I'm like, why wouldn't anybody just want broadband or fiber? I guess that's not, but it's bizarre to say that faster speeds are prejudicial. Like it's any sign...
excuse they can come up with is a good excuse. Because let's think of who would benefit from not forcing residential ISPs to offer gigabit. Let's just consider, like, who benefits? Because it's definitely not the consumer. It's definitely not the people who could use more bandwidth.
Right.
Let's see, who benefits? DSL companies who probably don't want to run fiber to residential homes to the tune of potentially millions of dollars of investment in their own infrastructure. Well, DSL works fine, right? No, DSL's 40 by 5. Right. You literally get better service on your cell phone if you have 4G.
And everybody. What's interesting to me about this is that like years ago, I learned about how musicians and artists across Western Africa were exchanging music and ideas and culture via cell phones, because they had sort of the development of cell phone technology and mobile internet had sort of like supplanted the need for broadband or DSL or anything that comes through a wire to your house, right? And so they were able to do stuff like this, trade phones, send each other things, whatever it might be. And this was kind of an interesting idea, but everybody that talked about it was like, see, that's kind of like what happens in developing countries, right?
Yeah.
No shade to the Western African countries that are doing this. That's innovative and super cool.
Right.
But we talked about this a lot last time I was on the show, is that like how many of the people in the capital went on their little business sojourns over to China and came back and were like, we're being left behind in the past. And now we're like, you know what we need? Not to have fast internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overblowing that, but it's interesting to me. I see the parallel of like, we used to see this thing as like, oh, that's a developing country thing. And now it's like, well, we have 5G and satellite internet. I mean, not everybody's rushing out to get their HughesNet subscription, right? Or whatever the other one is. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I think it's great to have options, and that's cool, but
Yeah.
we used to be I don't know, maybe I'm just off base here. I don't know. People in chat can chime off and let me know, because to me the vibe is that like we used to be a place that prided ourselves on our on the ground infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, we want to be, to use this admin's own words against them, we want to be self-sustaining and America first and all this kind of thing, right? What's to stop China from launching a mesh satellite network and providing internet to the Western world at a price that undercuts Starlink, for example? Like, what's to stop that? And then if you don't have the terrestrial internet to keep up, let's say China offers 300 by 100 service for $50 a month. That's better than Starlink offers.
Yeah.
What happens when that happens?
Yeah. See, I like this. We have two kind of opposing sides of the FCC here. The FCC chair, I think, said this. We disagree with commenters arguing that our concern about technological neutrality merely serves to accommodate technologies that may currently offer slower speeds. At present, we don't know the nature of future consumer preferences, and considering the goal is not required by the statute, it does not serve any positive purpose. So we believe it prudent to abolish it. So they're just like, yeah, it's not required by the law, and we don't know what consumers want. Meanwhile, another FCC commissioner who disagrees says lowering standards to ensure certain technologies can meet a benchmark is the opposite of technological neutrality. Technological neutrality requires that we evaluate all technologies against the same standard and support the ones that perform best. Which feels kind of obvious. I don't know.
Yeah, do you know what works best? Faster speeds.
I don't understand that. Like, we don't understand the nature of consumer preferences. What? How many people have faster speeds in their house than they actually need? I mean, that's probably a true thing because people want it.
Yeah.
Like, consumer preference.
It's only a preference, though, until it becomes a necessity. And the thing is, you can visit a web page today and have a single web page be 100 megs.
Yeah.
Let alone with auto-playing video and all this other crap.
Did I talk about this last time I was on the show, where it's just like, remember similar, all the... Yeah. See, the thing is like, you know, I got a young person in my house who's becoming interested in the things that can be accessed on the internet via a computer, right? And I thought to myself, my God, when I was a kid, we had games on this thing. I would go to the internet and play games. So I log on. The games are gone. Those don't exist anymore. All of the places I used to waste time on the internet, gone. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And what's worse is that, like, I have freaking, like, 2 gigabit speed at my house. And half these damn websites take forever to load. What the things that I used to do with a dial-up connection, my man.
Yeah.
What are they doing with these games? They're wasting it. They're squandering it. And they don't even have freaking regular ass games anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so frustrating because, like, look, I've been on a residential connection forever. In fact, I had a business connection before I started craft computing, and then I we had moved into our house about 5 years prior to me starting craft computing. The house I had before, we had a business connection at because it was cheap enough to get, and I had a static. I had 4 static IP addresses and whatnot. And I was doing home lab stuff back in like 2009, 2010, and hosting services and whatnot. And then I'm like, that's fine. We're moving to a place that has one of the state's largest private fiber providers, like 3 blocks away. I guarantee I'm going to get fiber here within the next couple of years because people are, things are moving and shaking and rolling out. And of course I'm going to get a fiber connection. That never happened. Moved to my new house. It's even worse. Not only do I not have the local cable company in my back pocket, now it's freaking Comcast. And
it's kind of the trick of bigger cities too.
Yeah.
You get stuck.
Yeah. No one wants to upgrade the infrastructure in my area. My area has a mandate for buried cables anyway. Everything is below ground. The infrastructure here is, 35, 40 years old. And so no one wants to dig that up. No one wants to put new cables down. And so we're just going to be what we are.
God, is that what it is? Is that why they don't want to run fiber?
Yeah, it's too expensive. Because it would,
in my mind,
because it would take 10 years to, you're going to lay fiber to the customers you already have and get money from. Why does that make sense to just spend money to make the customer have a better experience? That's the problem. And that's what the FCC is stepping in to prevent. Oh, it's not fair to make Comcast dig new fiber lines to service your house because you already have a line at your house that's 40 years old. That works just fine, right?
Well, see, what's crazy is
what are you complaining about?
I live in a much smaller town than Jeff lives in. And for years, everybody complained about, internet service out here because for a while it was provided by like the local phone company. And then when cable finally came in, people were happy to be able to make that switch. But if you weren't in town, because we have a very small kind of like town proper, I guess you would say, then you had to rely on the rural internet provider, which at the time was Frontier, which I'm sure everybody's familiar enough with Frontier. But under this FCC mandate, under the FCC mandate from the last White House administration, Frontier had like dissolved or something, and all of their rural infrastructure and stuff was acquired by Ziply in my area, which obviously everybody heard my bad story about Ziply, so I won't go there. However, they ran fiber throughout my whole town proper and all the rural outlying properties in like a year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we don't have a below ground mandate. Everything can be above ground here. So I was kind of pissed when I got fiber and they had to run the damn cable over my front yard. I'm like, oh, okay, that's really painful, but whatever. So anyway, it's just crazy to me that like, you see a company or you see it get done quickly and then other people are just like twiddling their thumbs about it. And it's like, in my small town too, I knew the guy who went out when cable, we're talking television here, but when cable was a new thing, he went out and hung all the lines himself with a ladder. And he brought cable to this town. Like, so I'm just like, Comcast can't get it done, but like a guy with a ladder can.
Yep. No, Comcast just doesn't want to spend the money because they already have a captive market. The market is not going anywhere and it's not expanding. And that's the point. Yeah. The FCC, because of lobbying by Comcast and AT&T and Cox and Frontier and Charter and CenturyLink, and I could go on and on and on for days about the monopolies and of ISPs, is they've been lobbying to the FCC, and they say, well, we already have lines at this house, and the lines are working, so why would we bother upgrading? The mandate was to serve the consumers going into the future. Yeah. It was to remain competitive. It was to make sure that new services that are being delivered can be delivered to the end user. But we've gone around not calling internet service a utility, even though good luck existing in the modern world in the last 20 freaking years without internet.
Yeah. You know, like when I was in high school in the 2000s, early 2000s, you could have maybe survived without the internet, but the conversation was, when I was leaving, was it like, that won't be the case for long.
Right.
You know, and I remember trying to make do without for a while. I tried to remember to make do without a smartphone for a while, and I couldn't do it anymore. If I wanted to apply for a job, I had to have the internet in my house. If I wanted to hear back about a job, I had to have the internet in my house.
Yep.
All of a sudden, my life, and now how much of all of our work is done on this damn thing? You know what I mean?
Not only that, go try to find a job. And I don't mean like a corporate job or anything like that. Go apply at McDonald's. Do you know what McDonald's does? They have a kiosk that you sign into and you give them your email address. And then I got to have internet at home.
Even in 2008, that was what Walmart did.
That's what Walmart, I was going to bring up them next. They've been doing that for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, I went into Walmart and I was like, I'd like to apply for a job. And they sat me down at a computer, a desktop computer.
Yep.
And they said, go ahead and fill out an application. And you know what really irks me?
Circa 2006, I installed some of those for Walmart. Fun story.
Nice. So I have you to blame when they didn't call me back. It always makes me laugh at how many jobs I applied for like that. Like, to think about, I don't know, maybe my life wouldn't be any different, but like Walmart never called me back. I applied there so many times. I applied for like every retailer in town.
Yeah.
Never got a job there.
Long story short, full disclosure, I used to work for Walmart. This is in the
Careful, is this covered under NDA, Jeff?
It is not. I worked at Walmart. I worked in the electronics department. I worked in the photo lab back when they did 1 hour photo processing. And then they were bringing in Walmart.
Was that before or after you worked at Shutterbug?
This was before the camera store.
Wow.
But back in the day, in the early 2000s, Walmart used to have literally like mall kiosks that would sit in the aisles that were like cell phone companies.
Right.
A lot of people don't remember this, but you could run a store inside of a Walmart in the aisle, and it'd be the guy in the poor fitting button down that
you got a second to talk about your current cell phone provider?
Happy with your DirecTV service? It's that guy. Anyway, Walmart decided, why are we doing that when we could just do that ourselves? And so they started selling cell phone service directly. I was at the second store in the nation that they decided to open that up for. And so I managed the cell phone
Hell yeah.
For 6 months, 9 months, something like that, before I went on and worked at the camera store.
Yeah. Dude, Walmart used to be a legit store, you know? And actually, I'll say this in Walmart's defense. We all probably crap on Walmart quite a bit. I don't know how you feel about a Walmart, right? But people that look like me, that live in places like me, that whatever, they've been talking about Target, right? Target. This is where we go. Okay. I had to...
Not anymore, they don't.
Well, no, yeah. Except they still shop there, man. Some of these people talk a big game and then they keep going. I'm like,
I know.
This place is still full.
Yep.
This place is still full. What are you doing?
Yep.
But the long story short of this is, between Target and Walmart, you begin to develop a kind of picture of the type of shopper that goes there, right? And people that, in my sphere, they kind of look down on Walmart. Not me.
Yeah.
Not me, but people in my sphere. And I never really went because I gave up on in-person shopping, right?
Yeah.
But I had to go find a very specific kid's gift one time. And I go to Target. They don't have it. I go to the next Target. They don't have it. Not only that, Each Target is worse than the last. I mean, it's a mess. Things are unfolded.
Yeah.
The customer service is awful. Nothing is laid out the same, and there's just nothing to pick, nothing to look for through. I go to Walmart. Yeah, sure. They got white fluorescence instead of soft white or whatever. Okay. Stark white fluorescence, but you go in there and oh my God, like, yeah, it's in the rough part of town, but everything is folded. They got stock packed up to the rafters. Not only did I find what I needed, Jeff, I had options. And I tried to tell people, I was like, yo, you sent me to Target, but like that place kind of sucks compared to Walmart. Did you know that? And they're like, ugh, Walmart's so gross. You have to like go past a greeter. I'm like, yeah, but like it was clean and well organized and they had everything I needed.
Yeah.
They had options.
Versus Target, where I walk by Target security when I walk in. Like,
the soft white lights on Target is like it's like a way to get the white person's guard down. You know what I mean? They're like, you're home, baby. Like, just relax. Like, there's some popcorn over there, some coffee. You're okay. We wear khakis and red here. Okay?
Right.
Not blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's going to be all right. And then I go into Walmart and it's just like, okay, yeah, it's like a little bit more like a prison environment, but everything was well run. Like,
I will say for about almost a year, I worked for a company that serviced a lot of different retail establishments. Think every grocery, every supermarket, every corner store, every grocery store. I've been in a lot of them. And worked with a lot of the backroom people and management and things like that. And I developed a sense for the culture of stores as a whole in this process, because you walk into 20 different Safeways. Safeway as a corporation makes a lot of sense to you. You walk into 20 different Targets. You walk into 20 different Costcos. Those companies and their corporate culture starts to make sense to you. What I'll say is I've never walked into a Target where any of the backroom workers were unhappy to be there. All of them were very chill, very like, yeah, it's another Tuesday. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm just working. I'm having an all right time. Like, I won't say they were, like, thrilled to be at work, but there was never any time ever that a single Target employee was ever unhappy to be where they were. Walmart, kind of similar, a little bit more, a little bit less professional in Walmart backrooms, but very similar vibe of like, yeah, we're just getting work done. Like, we're here, we're getting work done. It's all right. Nothing's gonna bother us. Nothing's gonna piss me off today. I'm here. I'm not thrilled about it, but I'm here, and it's all right. Things are gonna be okay. I'm gonna go home today. It's gonna be great. Safeway.
Good luck.
Safeway is East Germany. Like, Safeway is totalitarian regime. No one likes working there. On their best day, they're God. The only time I've ever sworn at my boss at that job was, you need to come out here and you need to talk to this clerk who I'm dealing with, because if you don't, I'm going to effing kill her. That was every Safeway I walked into.
It's another environment altogether. Shopping at Safeway is designed for couponers. Yeah, for sure. All that to say,
I don't know how we went from broadband talk The
Yeah, how did I get? I connected it somehow, but
the social economic leanings of various retail chains. But here we are.
that's really what it is. You know what I mean? Anyway, all that to say, this thing is bull. It's bull. And anyway,
Oh, and as a quick aside, before we leave the ISP talk, we'll get into the next thing next. I will give a shout out to like Rett. You and I deal all the time with business inquiries with craft computing, right?
yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah. What are we at? About 50 emails a day, give or take.
I freaking didn't check the email for like a week and came back and was like, great, this is awful.
God. Yeah.
Like,
47
why did I do
of them
this?
aren't even worth sending an email back to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the industry. Is, hey, do you want to review this all new, never been seen ergonomic chair? No.
Love the chair offers because they're all the same, and it's like every marketing agency ever is like, hi, I'm from this marketing agency, and we have a great deal for you. I know that you do home lab content. If you're tired, sit in our chair. And then the next one is like, hi, we're from an even better marketing agency, and we have the same exact chair.
Yeah.
You lead a busy lifestyle. You need a chair to keep your butt comfy.
I see you stand a lot. Could you imagine sitting instead? It's like the number of probably about 4% of my content I am standing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's like, do you not watch the other videos?
yeah.
We're sitting in those ones.
I will say something incredible happened this last week in regards to this, and I don't think you're aware of this one yet, because this came through a different channel. This was weird.
Okay.
This was a weird circumstance.
I think I saw this.
So a lot of companies will obviously use AI to figure out what you're talking about, and the latest thing is plug this guy's transcript into ChatGPT, tell me what he's talking about so I can I can make an anecdote about something and relate it to our product. And it's all AI generated. That's 100% of what's going on right now.
Because in one hand, I'm like, wow, they watched the video. And on the other hand, Jesus, they have the most surface level understanding.
They did not. Let me just click on a random one.
Oh, here we go.
Let me see.
They're all this way. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about AI. That's so offensive.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Oh, see, this just, it goes to like the heart of like,
what's funny is the AI companies aren't even the ones that are guilty of this. It's like the chairs and the mini PCs and the sit-stand desks and the robot vacuums.
You had another one too. Automatic blinds.
Oh yeah, the automatic blinds. Hold on, I'm trying to find.
It goes to the heart of like one of the things that I said that I replay in my mind a lot when we did the live show with Jordan a few months back. And I said, like, I like writing a business email.
Yeah.
Which is like such a weird thing to say, right? But like one of the small pleasures of getting to help you with this is like interacting with people from around the world.
Yeah.
And I freaking hate reading just slop that's just sent to me. I had a great interaction right around the time of the World Cup. Everybody remember what the World Cup is? Okay? This is a moment where we take some time out of our busy lives and we watch some darn football, right?
Right.
There was this little scrappy team, Cape Verde, right? They blew us all away with their performance and they almost beat Argentina, I think. It was a hell of a game. And we got a freaking inquiry from a company based in Cape Verde. And we sent emails back and forth to this guy, just like, dude, wasn't that a hell of a game? Like, I was right there with you guys. I was hoping you guys would win. And it was such a great experience. Would have been completely shattered through the use of Chat GPT. But whatever. That's just me.
Yeah. Anyway, most content now, or most emails that we receive now are like, hey, I really like that video that you did on this particular mini PC, the way you installed Linux on it was really great. And then you tied it in really nicely with your previous Home Lab content, which I did not, about Proxmox. And I think we have a really great opportunity that would fit your audience well with this vacuum cleaner because of how busy your life is with all your content creation and all the great work that you do.
Excellent.
Like that's
well done.
Literally the emails that I read 100 times a day.
If you came up with that on your own, I'd be impressed. But now that I'm aware, I can't believe I didn't know this. Granted, I'm going to tell you right now, I look at those and I go, within the first sentence or two, I'm like, this isn't for us, and I move on. So it's not like I'm reading their 3-paragraph dissertation about their stupid freaking vacuum cleaner and being like, oh, I've been duped by ChatGPT. No.
The time I don't mind it is when they find something that I've talked about that I didn't make a post about, I didn't draw attention to. It's literally something that I talked about either on this show or in one of my videos, and they go, hey, I saw that you mentioned this thing. Would you be interested in this product that is directly related to this thing? And those kinds of conversations I love to have because, oh, I didn't realize this existed, or hey, this could definitely tie into content that I've made previously. Tom and I, on last week's show, we got talking a little bit about decentralized communication, specifically Meshtastic and Meshcore. Obviously, the video went live, 6 p.m. Wednesday. We're done by 8:15. I go to bed. I don't think much of the conversation. Like, yeah, I plan on doing some things eventually with Meshtastic or Meshcore. Like, I'll it's a thing on my list that I might hit one day. Thursday afternoon, like less than 24 hours after the podcast was aired, I have an email that says, hey, I saw you mention Meshtastic on your podcast. Would you be interested in reviewing a couple of our devices that support Meshtastic? And I went, all right.
Yeah, that feels natural. That feels good.
That feels totally now. I don't mind those at all.
Well, and again, it's perhaps less sloppy because that makes sense.
Yeah.
A vacuum cleaner doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah.
A chair.
I've done 2 chairs on this
channel. You paid your dues.
I'm sitting in one of those chairs. The previous 7 years, I have sat in the other chairs that I also reviewed. My plan for when I do the studio build, which, spoilers, hopefully we're moving and shaking. We're trying to get things going, but hopefully when the studio is built, my plan is to say yes to every chair and desk company that wants to send me something. And I'm going to open them all and assemble them all in one video and give each chair 60 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an assembly party of like 40 chairs and 25 desks because that's how many requests we get in a month. Yeah. I'm going to keep the 6 that I like and my friends and family can take all the rest home. That's the plan. I'm not shy about it. I'm going to tell these companies straight up that's what's going to happen. If you send me this chair, it is going to get 60 seconds of airtime. If your chair is the best, you'll get 10 years of airtime because that's what I expect out of it.
Yeah.
But that's the plan.
That's great. I love that idea. It's like almost right up there with like buying a pallet of like crap, and doing that. But it's like instead just saying yes to everything.
Yeah. I've seen like Austin Evans has said yes to everything a couple of times. I know like Unbox Therapy has done that before. Marquise Brownlee's done that before. But I want to say yes specifically to every chair and desk so I can review everything that's ever hit the market ever, at least for that month, that period in time. Because as a tech creator, I get offered literally every chair that's on the market.
The thing that does worry me a little bit is that like we'll be saying yes to everything and they're like because unfortunately it's never as easy as just saying yes, ship here.
And
right?
This is the thing that people don't understand, so please continue.
This drives me crazy. And in fact, like I've been working on this deal for some other product or whatever. And I tell them flat out, like, they're like, hey, can you do this like a paid video? I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
If you want to send the product over, I'm sure, we can get Jeff to look at it and we can, and if it vibes, great, you got a review.
Yeah.
What? It's not going to fit otherwise. And, oh, that's great. Okay, well, what about this, and I say, and if that sounds great, send us the product to this address, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, what about you saying yes to all of these other things? I'm like, okay, so I go through the list. I'm like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, blah, 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 but here's the things we can't do. Okay, that's great. Can you do these other things? I'm like, just send us the product or don't.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing it for free. I just saved you a lot of money. I don't want another email from you.
Yeah.
If you want this on our channel, send it.
Yeah. I know it's cliche, but the amount of money we leave on the table because I don't want to just inundate my audience with ads. That's not my business model. Even the sponsored videos that we do and even the ad integrations that we do, we are so selective. We turned down today $20,000 in revenue for 2 different deals just today.
Yeah.
That we were fairly far along in the process with.
And part of it was the same thing where they're like, by the way, before the ink dries on this, can we get these things from you and these things from you? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not the only reason, but also like,
yeah,
it's just painful.
Yeah.
It's just painful. Like, okay. Yeah.
Nothing's more expensive than a free lunch. Like,
I know. Yeah, seriously. I don't know. I wish I could think of one of the more funny ones because it just drives me crazy. It's like, oh, you had this in the bag, and now I'm gonna say no out of spite. It's like
a couple of times, yes. You
Jeff
just had
today,
to press the
me,
issue, didn't you?
Jeff today, I give him like the final, like, I'm like, are you sure about this? And he's like, unless you want to talk me into it. I'm like, no, I'm trying to talk you out of it.
Right. That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was the one? Hold on, I shared one. Where was that at? There was an email that I got very recently. Oh, here it is. Company had the gall to send this offer in, and for those of you who want to be an influencer, no, you don't. If you have no soul, I'm sure you can make some money. But there was this company. I'm not going to mention the product or even the category, but let's just say we've talked about this category before, something we don't do reviews on. We had received an email from a company that said, hey, we have X product to review. They gave the brand, the actual product, and free sample will be provided to you. By the way,
right.
Free does a lot of heavy lifting there because in receipt of this item, you also agree to the terms of the conditions that they're providing the item to you for.
Yeah.
Scope of work, 1 dedicated video, link in description. We will provide the Amazon link, which if they provide the Amazon link, that nixes my affiliate sales for a good review, so I don't make any secondary money off a positive or negative review. Full usage rights for 2 months, including boosting rights, listing endorsement rights, EDM usage rights, and partnership ads.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
This email was sent on August 7th. Upload timeline, August 2026. So if you came to terms with this company, you would have less than a week likely after receiving product to produce a full video.
Yeah.
Content format. There are 2 possible content
here we
formats. You may provide separate rates for each option. So by the way, they would also pay you a bucket of money for this. Comparison video. You can compare our product versus our other product.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Or you can do an in-depth review of our product.
Oh, good. Wow.
Requirements. The script and draft video must be provided for review and approval before uploading the video.
So you have a week to not only turn it around, but also
maybe back and forth on all the nitty gritty and
they're like, we get 3 edit rounds.
Right.
Like,
oh, and the influencer must be based in the U.S.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew.
Close call, Jeff. We almost had to say no.
So yeah, if you ever see a random creator pop off with a video in like some unrelated segment to theirs, they got a bucket of money to show you some robot vacuum cleaner or pool cleaner or robotic blinds or whatever else.
Yeah. See, that's and there was like another one too where I was like,
but it's a review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just another one. They're like, I was like, just send us the product. We'll take a look at it. And they're like, well, it has to go out exactly on this day. And you have to send us the script within 5 days of receiving the product. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
I'm
Are
not
you
even
literally
opening the
out of your
goddamn
mind?
box 5 days after I received the
Yeah,
product.
that's what I was just like, you have no clue what you're talking about. I was like, go on down the list, find your other freaking influencer or whoever, somebody that's desperate for some freaking attention from you, and get the hell out of my inbox. I don't want to see you again. And if I do, God help you.
Yep.
Anyway.
I also am privy to sometimes, because sometimes companies who are fly-by-night look like their company name was written by rolling their face over the front of their keyboard. They like to send emails that are just to everyone instead of CC'd or, even better, individual emails.
Yeah.
And you will often get reply all chains going. Sometimes, with some popular influences, rates for said videos.
Oh yeah, I just saw this on Discord.
Yeah. So I have often said we're not charging enough, but holy hell, we're not charging enough.
Yeah, I know. I saw this and I was like, should I be asking for more?
One came through recently, 60 to 90 second integration, $28,400. Themed dedicated project. So, like, a video where I'm like, I woke up one morning and I was really in the hankering for a robot vacuum to clean my study. $56,000. Dedicated
Jeff, would you do a robot vacuum cleaner sponsored feature video for $56,000?
If I can disclose the payday, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna start pitching $56,000.
Look, you remember a number of years ago, we had a company that that wanted us to show off a gaming PC, and I'm like, you know what? The PC's not that bad. The pricing isn't that bad. Sure, I'll show it off. And they gave me I think it was about $5,000.
Is this the one where we opened the $100 beer too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember this.
So they gave me...
This is a hard one to do.
So they gave me $5,000, and they had a list of things that they wanted me to do. But I said, I'm going to be very upfront. This is going to be sponsored. And they said, that's totally fine. Whatever you need to do, as long as our message is across. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so I started the video off by opening a $100 bottle of beer.
Yeah. And I remember the review. I don't remember the computer very well, but I remember the beer having a pretty middling review.
That was Anchorage Deal with the Devil, I want to say.
That was. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Then it was just me. Yeah. It was just me. Because you split it with me, and I was like, eh.
I gave you like an ounce.
I think you gave me like 4
might have been a little heavier.
It was definitely enough to get an impression.
I quite liked it.
Maybe I did too. Maybe I liked it, but I was thinking like not worth $100.
Oh, definitely not worth $100.
Yeah, okay. I just remember like the review of the beer basically being like, well, at least we made our money on this video, you know. So anyway, all the robot vacuum cleaner videos coming in, I am now pitching $56,000.
Yeah, if you got $56,000, I will review your robot vacuum cleaner.
Look, and all 131 of you watching right now, when that video comes in, you better watch and press like. Did you see that YouTube's changing the way that they count views? Yeah. What do you think about that?
I hate it.
Yeah, isn't that so
Yeah.
annoying? Everything is going towards the freaking like short attention span
Yep.
mentality. Drives me
It's
crazy.
exactly what I talked about in the Steam Machine video of why reviews in particular are suffering and why this industry is suffering. And I hate to use this word so nonchalantly, but the brain rot of like, yeah, if I give an opinion, I can give you a yes or a no of is product good or is product bad. But the problem is to stick in your brain, to actually make an impression. I have to say best product ever or waste of sand. I have to
Unfortunately,
yeah, I have to give a black and white good versus evil Pepsi or Coke opinion. And not only am I not good at that, because there's different sides and different equations and different use cases to literally everything that's out there. I have the opinion that if a product exists, someone is probably buying that product. There was probably market research done that says this should probably be a product. It probably serves a need. Whether or not it's your need, that's a different conversation. So anyone who says this is the worst product ever is immediately full of shit. Like, just flat out. Except the all-new RX 9050. That thing is a pile of garbage at $300. I won't say it's a pile of garbage as a card, but this is the epitome of right product, wrong price.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, a 7600 XT is $20 more. So, I don't care what shortage we're in. Like, okay, that one finally pushed me into the waste of sand category. I'm sorry.
Right.
But the 9070 GRE, the 1650, the a 6-core processor in this day and age. Yeah. They're products for different people. They may not be for you, and that's okay. And I've been trying so much in comment sessions lately when people go like, you're just an idiot and a shill and everything. I'm like, you can just say, this is not for me, and move on. No. You got the information that you wanted from my video that confirmed whether or not this product was for you or not. Whether or not I have good opinions or not. But I laid out your use case and you decided not. That's a good thing. That means my video told you what you needed to know. Why are you yelling at me that you disagree with my conclusion?
Because you're a public figure, Jeff, and your job is to bear the brunt of the internet. You are my punching bag when I deem it so. You are going to take my criticism and you are going to like it.
Please, sir, may I have another? But no, that whole instant gratification, if I'm not gratified within 30 seconds, I'm never going to be gratified.
Yeah, seriously.
Some of y'all need to watch some more Star Trek because, like, man, there are some lame episodes in that. But there's also some gold in the middle.
Oh, dude, well, that's what I always say about, like, Star Trek The Next Generation, right? Like, first 2-3 seasons, and then you get seasons 4 and 5, and season 5 is all bangers all the way through. Non-stop.
No.
And then you have season 6 and 7.
Season 5 was the Picard Cardassian torture episode. There are 4 lights!
Which is epic. That's a great episode.
Do you know what they followed that up with? Data as Sherlock Holmes, the very next episode.
Is that Ship in a Bottle? Because that's a fantastic episode. Another banger, Jeff. You can't take Ship in a Bottle away. What are you talking about? You're going to say Ship in a Bottle is not...
They're so dichotomous with each other. Oh, and by the way, Picard bears none of the brunt of his week-long torture session in that episode.
Wait. Is season 5, do you get family, or is that season 4?
I think that's season 4.
Because that's like another one, though. It's like you get... This is just a problem with
You literally go from like Picard covered in scars, half naked on a med bed, and then walking to his quarters and laying down and like, oh god, I'm glad that's over. And then if you watch on like Netflix or something, the very next scene you get is Data pretend smoking a pipe going, "Elementary, my dear Watson."
Right. Somebody is saying Ship in a Bottle might be season 2. But then there is the follow-up, right, where Moriarty comes back.
Yes, the very first one is season 2, episode 3.
Okay, so that's probably Ship in a Bottle then.
Yes. That is Elementary, dear Data. What is Ship in a Bottle? Hold on.
Ship in a Bottle is the one where Moriarty gets shipped off like
season
in
6.
the simulation.
Season 6.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Rev is saying that. Chain of Command was season 6. See, I don't know. Season 5 though, you got Redemption Part 2, which isn't that's a Worf episode, I think. And then you got Darmok. Great episode. Then you got Ensign Rowe. Everybody remembers
his eyes uncovered.
Probably couldn't tell you much about Silicon Avatar.
Ensign Rowe's a great episode.
Oh, that's the one with the crystalline entity. Okay, then let's see. Disaster is episode 5. Oh, when Picard gets trapped in the turbo lift with children, that's a pretty good episode. I like that one.
Oh god.
Oof. The game, though, that's a shit episode. However,
the
didn't
game
I make
is
a comparison about the game on this show not that long ago, where I was like, everybody thinks that they're whatever, but it's actually the game.
It's actually just the game, yeah. By the way, you lost the game.
Oh. You jerk. You know what? I think season 4 might be a better season. But you
Gen
do
Z
have
and Alpha think they invented memes.
Right, yeah.
I lost the game.
I think season 4 might be a better TNG season, but like you do got The Inner Light, which is my hands down my favorite TNG episode of all time. It's so good.
My favorite TNG episode, if we're going this way. By the way, we do have only 2 more stories to get to, so that's why we're meandering so much today.
Well, we should probably whatever. I'll cut you off when we get there.
My favorite TNG episode is Future Imperfect.
Future Imperfect is very good.
It is Riker waking up, having lost 15 years of memory. He's in command of the Enterprise, and things just aren't quite right. Like, everything kind of makes sense, but things just aren't quite right. And God, that is such a good episode. It's either Future Imperfect or Yesterday's Enterprise. With Tasha Yar and Shooter McGavin.
Those are both great. I honestly like any of those episodes. I do think like TNG had a capacity to do like the kind of time travel-y ones like, better than most shows.
What's funny is both of those are time travel episodes. I never put that together.
Yeah, they nailed it, man. And it's like even like I think even compared to like a show like Doctor Who, where the whole shtick is time travel, like they nail it like better throughout the course of TNG.
I mean, Best of Both Worlds is a time travel episode. It's a 2-parter series finale as a time travel episode, and it is a banger.
And Best of Both Worlds ends in season 4, right?
Oh no, sorry, not Best of Both Worlds. The very last season 7.
Never mind.
God.
Here, I'll look it up. Season 7 TNG will go to Wikipedia to support
all good things
for all. All good things, yeah. Boom.
Past, present, and future Picard have to realign the timeline with a singularity that's smaller in the future but bigger in the past. Like, it's working inverse of what it should, and yada yada yada. And it's a Q episode.
You know, the other one that season 5 has is probably like a top is the First Duty. That's a good one.
Oh, I forgot about First Duty.
Yeah. That's a pretty peak. Pretty peak.
All right. We do have a couple super chats to get to. Unfortunately, my Window
I'll scroll
just
back.
froze on me. Mods, do you by any chance have the super chat screenshotted for me? Because I
can
just
scroll
lost
back.
them all. I can't scroll back anymore because YouTube
So
Studio
the first
is
one I
stupid.
saw, I did see Cosworth,
Cosworth had a
originally
couple,
donated $2 that we didn't say. He wanted to fundraise to get me cat headphones, to which I said I would wear them. So thank you for the $2 super chat,
Yeah.
Cosworth. We know you're still watching.
I think we can get you some RGB ears.
Then the last one I also have is $5 from Cosworth way back when. He says, the FCC won't let me be. I need more than gigabit. Can't you agree? Bleh emoji. Still ahead in the race for fiber, ahead of the fat hacker. Then we got Sir Bobbles, member for 12 months. Thank you, Sir Bobbles. He says, most restaurants and food trucks / trailers use 5G modems. I'm starting to see Starlink pop up more often due to wired business pricing / slower speeds.
Yep.
That's an interesting one. I used to have this job for a little bit where I had to drive all over the Pacific Northwest and go to places so remote that there was no local broadband or internet. And one time I got out there wasn't even 5G accessible to me on the nation's largest 5G network. And it was T-Mobile, yeah. And I had to Google something because the location I thought I had to go to was not where it was supposed to be in Google Maps. I went there, it was a completely different thing. So I found a food truck serving this intersection of a town.
Yeah.
And they had a Starlink antenna out there. And I said, can I access your Starlink?
Can I give you $20 to get internet?
And what they said was, buy a cheeseburger and I'll let you log on. I was like, all right, great. So I bought a cheeseburger, logged on, figured out what I had to do, no problem. So yeah, it's interesting that's like...
I hear they have some internets out California way.
Yeah, it was interesting. And it was fun though. But... American Cosworth, again, $2. Rett, you still think we make stuff? Oh, sweet child. I know you don't. Oh, Jeff's pouring a second beer. I forgot to announce my second beer, which is a Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the World Cup, as you can see right there.
There you go.
There's a football.
Yeah.
But darn this stupid... Anyway, let's keep going. More super chats. Cosworth, king of the night so far, with multiple super chats. $2. He says... Raise your hand if you shotgunned 256K modem ever. I didn't. Of course, Jeff did.
I've shotgunned T1 lines. But no, I have totally shotgunned the dual 56Ks. Unfortunately, again, going back to our prior conversation about how infrastructure's been in the ground for 40 years and the hell they're going to dig that up. The phone lines in our area when I was growing up could only do 28.8, sometimes 32.6. And so I shotgunned modems to get 56K. Yeah.
The before times. Cosworth again. Thank you, Cosworth, for supporting this show and keeping me supplied in Michelob Ultra. $5. He says, legit. I am considering getting 5 gigabit symmetrical fiber and then literally setting up Unify access points to my neighbors and splitting the costs. Which I think is a great idea. That sounds fun.
As well.
Michael responds immediately.
If you do
but
that,
as a...
if you do that, Cos, as a residential homeowner, let's get into some like liability of this, because as a residential provider, you would be providing clients a service. Now, I'm sure they don't really care about your SLA or your uptime or anything like that. As long as their internet works, they're probably going to be happy. However, you also have to consider the fact that if they, let's say, torrent things, that notification is coming to you. If there's any illegal activity, that notification is coming to you. And so if it were me, I would 100% look into not only VLANing them off on their own VLAN where there is absolutely no cross traffic allowed. You have to go out to the ISP and back in if you want to contact services on either network. But also number two, is it possible to get split IP addresses at your location? So could you buy a block of 6 or 8 or 10 IP addresses, and give each client, each house, an outgoing IP? So there's indeterminate where the traffic came from if it ever comes to blow. I'm just thinking liability standpoint.
Yeah.
Because you never want to have that conversation.
If you had neighbors you trust, but even then, you never know. People get lackadaisical when they're in the comfort of their private office. You know, the family computer where you used to have to behave yourself isn't exactly an institution anymore. Right. Michael
not only your neighbors, but your neighbors' kids, your neighbors who allow other people onto their Wi-Fi. All of that is now traveling through your pipe that you rent and own.
Yeah. Michael says that, but as a business, won't they charge you more? And I feel like there's probably a way to do that without attracting that attention. But if you're asking for, hey, can I get multiple IP addresses and stuff, you're probably attracting that attention.
Right.
A little bit. Good Lord. So thanks, Cosworth. Here's another one. Oh, let's hear about it.
Yeah.
That looks gorgeous, by the way.
Right.
Steeplejack, I love that place.
Steeplejack, India Red Ale.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. It looks red too.
Now what's funny, I bought it just for the can art because the can art is freaking dope. I also bought their Goliath or their Gargoyle IPA.
Oh, dude, have you ever been to Steeplejack's?
I have not.
Their OG location, dude. We gotta go sometime.
Yeah.
They're in a church.
Yes.
On Broadway in Portland.
Yes.
And it is so legit. It's such a great spot. For whatever reason, whenever my wife has like work functions, they're always like, Steeplejack's? Let's go. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but yeah, India
I love
Red
the can
Ale.
Where did you get that at?
I got this at the local bottle shop.
Oh,
the one downtown. So
yeah.
Cool. But no, looks fantastic in my craft computing store glass.
Yeah, it does. I don't even see the code anymore. You know, it says Red Ale
Pilsner
India
IPA.
Red Ale. How's it taste? Good. What's an India Red Ale? It's like a hoppy red ale.
It's a hoppy red. Yeah, it's think of Dawn of the Red. It's a Northwest red.
On board. Love it. Not a professional Jay sends over $5, Jeff. He says, did your WM, which probably means Walmart, have a Fuji or Noritsu photo center? I was a Fuji Mini Lab tech for 4 years. Ability to turn anything into a silver halide photo was wild.
Yep. We had all Fuji
Jay.
equipment, and in fact, my experience at working on the Fuji equipment got me the work at the camera store, in which I eventually became like the lab manager for the camera store.
Which eventually led to his enthusiasm, which meant that he had a camera in front of him when he had tech hardware in front of him, which is how he's right here, right now.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong. Working at the camera store, I also got employee discounts on a lot of different things. And so I did end up buying my first digital SLR working at the camera store. We got stupid cheap deals on accessories and equipment and things like that. My employee discount was cost plus 10%. And so
that's really
on the
good.
camera that only has an 8% markup, you paid retail for the camera. You pay cost plus 10 or whatever's lowest. Or cost plus 10 or retail or whatever's lowest. And in the camera body,
was my discount
retail.
at cost plus 10% was my discount at Sportsman's Warehouse.
Yeah.
They sell some fun things in there.
Yeah.
That are definitely like at cost. You're like, Jesus, I can't believe people pay retail for this.
Yeah. I bought so many memory cards and batteries.
Yeah.
The markup on memory cards, well, batteries in particular, was insane because like Canon, Nikon, Sony wasn't really a thing yet. It was still Minolta at the time. There was some Fuji, there was some things like that. But if you bought a camera and you wanted another battery for that camera, like for Canon, it was $80 for a second battery. Yeah. Or you can buy this third-party battery that we brand ourselves, and we'll sell it to you for $65. The cost on those batteries was about $6.
Wow.
So $6.60? Yes, I'll take 4.
That's brutal. See, I knew a guy at Sportsman's Warehouse because we had the great cost plus 10% discount. And obviously they had a very strict do not abuse this discount or else.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He opened up his own online storefront.
You dumb mother. Yeah.
They tracked every purchase. They figured it out very quickly.
Oh yeah. No, it's amazing how quickly that stuff gets found out when you're taking advantage of it. Had a couple coworkers who took advantage of it and F around, find out. Yeah. You're allowed to extend it to friends and family. You're allowed to buy Christmas gifts and things like that, as long as you're not buying an item that is in super high demand, as long as you're buying, one of the store retail products, the store branded memory cards or batteries or whatever, they don't care. They're buying 1,000 of these at a time. What happens if they sell 30 of them at cost plus 10%? It's a drop in the bucket compared to the profit. It doesn't matter. If you're buying a high in demand, high profit item from them and you're clearing out their inventory. So if I'm buying 30 batteries, there's no way I need 30 batteries. Okay. They know.
Red flag.
Yeah, they know. There was a deal at one point. They got some refurbished DSLRs in. This was, so when I started working at the camera store, not to age myself, the original EOS Rebel Digital was what I sold. And then the Rebel XT came out. We had the 10D, followed very closely by the 20D. The Nikon D50 and D70 were on the shelves. These are cameras circa like 2005. But we got some refurbished Rebel XTs late in my tenure there. The Rebel XT, I think, was $800 body only. It was $1,000 if you wanted the kit lens. It was expensive. The refurbished ones came in and they were $650. Cost was $275.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Because they bought like 1,000 of them. And so, hey, do you need a digital Rebel? A Rebel XT? $300 out the door.
Damn.
If you're an employee. Yeah. So it was pretty great. Bought a couple of those.
We got another one from Not Professional Jay. Member for 19 months. I love chair deathmatch. Trademark.
Chair deathmatch. That's a good word. That's a good name for that.
That's pretty good. I like that. And then I think we got one more, if I'm not mistaken, from White Knight, sending us over 2 Canadian smackers.
We take those.
TNG Season 2, Episode 17. Which is what? I don't know. Season 2 I like because you got, what's her name, but it was a little bit rough. Episode 17, Samaritan Snare.
The Packlids.
Seemingly dim-witted aliens.
We are strong.
Make our ship
go. Oh no, there's another Enterprise, to quote Lower Decks.
Oh, Rev says Season 2, Measure of a Man. That's another peak TNG. So you can't
seasons
sleep on
1 and
season
2 are very rare on Gems, but they are there. Measure of a Man, very, very good episode.
Very, yeah. Yeah, excellent. Oh yeah, Matter of Honor is a good one where they trade the Klingon officers.
Yeah.
Riker goes on a Klingon ship. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
One or both.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Freaking classic Riker line. Sets the tone for Riker for the rest of the season.
Do you think you can handle them? What? Klingon women. And he looks over and she's like licking her like ah. And he just glances left, glances right and goes, one or both?
You know they high-fived each other in the writer's room after that one. That is epic. So good.
That is such a 1988 writer's room filled with Coke line.
Oh my god. So good.
And it holds up today. It holds up today.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got to our other stories, but I do want to interject because I know you said we had a couple more, but the FCC story feel like ties in very well with the other one that I had mentioned and brought to your attention on ProPublica.
Ooh. Yes. Let me hold on. Where did that?
It's here.
Hold on. Dang it. No, I got it. I got it.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
I found it. Aha.
Well done. Yes. So this is what we were talking about. The FCC basically being like, yeah, we met our fiber goal. We don't need to do this anymore. It's bad for net neutrality. Suddenly they care about net neutrality.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
But this is an interesting one because obviously rural fiber was a big goalpost recently. And I talked at the beginning of the show about having been sort of a benefit of rural fiber, a beneficiary of rural fiber. But here, ProPublica did a journalistic investigation, headlined here, on this nearly deserted Alaska island, you pay to keep hundreds of empty buildings wired for internet. And what they found is that $340,000 a year goes to an Anchorage-based company to keep homes and buildings on a remote Alaskan island wired for an obsolete internet service. And all but a handful of those buildings are empty. Not only...
Hey, Rhett, what was my first question to you when you posted this story?
Why don't I have fiber? Or something like that.
No, it was how much for one of those buildings?
Oh, yeah, seriously.
They get fiber?
I bet they're just giving them away. You know what I mean? Because this place was apparently popping in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a Navy base or something like that. And if you look at the picture there on ProPublica, these are homes that are virtually identical. They all look like that one right there in the headline. Boom. This place has like 100 people living on it anymore. And do you know how they get their internet in the year 2026, Jeff?
How?
Satellite. They don't need fiber internet, of which $340,000 a year goes to maintain.
You know, I'll counter this, okay?
Yeah.
Because a network engineer's salary, $100,000, $125,000,
Sure.
pretty reasonable.
Sure.
So they're paying for 2 network engineers plus a little bit of hardware. I don't think that's that outrageous. Like, there was a time you could tell me there's $1 million in government waste. And I'd go, oh my God, what did they do with all this money? And then you go, they fed 80 families for a year. And you're like, they only got 80 done with that? That's kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because $1 million doesn't go very far anymore.
There are 77 people living on this island. And nobody uses the service.
Right. But it's government mandated the service exists.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, those tax dollars are allocated for that service to exist. And number three, it is employing multiple people to make sure that service exists, even though it's used by a handful, if any, residents of that island. That's just tax dollars at work, making sure that services are available to everyone who pays taxes.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've talked about
I want to know
I've
how
talked
many
about
other...
last mile connections a lot on this channel because the economy of running fiber to every last square inch of prairie land doesn't make a lot of sense, but at the same time, you can get cable internet in bump nowhere, Kansas, because the government paid $40 billion for that rollout.
Yeah.
And that's your tax dollars at work. That is your tax dollars making sure that communication reaches all residents. And when they say all residents, they don't just mean those living in metro areas. They mean all residents. They mean that dude that lives up a 7-mile uninhabitable road, up a mountain trail. He's got cable. I don't disagree with that. And $340,000 for an entire island?
77 people, though. Here's something, you're right. I'm not going to argue with that point, because I think overall the spirit of what you're saying is correct. But here's a passage from the article on ProPublica. Like many Alaska telecoms, Adak Eagle, the telecom company that provides fiber to this island, was built on public money. It began in the early 2000s with FCC subsidies and federal loans to upgrade telephone wires for fiber optic lines. And by 2011, the company was collecting $2.68 million a year from the Universal Service Fund, which I'm sure is described earlier in the article. But in 2013, a federal order determined that the company president, the president of Adak Eagle, named Larry Mays, spent telecom subsidies on a fleet of vehicles and a fishing boat that were found to not be necessary for his business, and that $240,000 salary that he paid himself
that's not
was
unreasonable. That's actually not unreasonable for a director of a telecom company.
But they say that it was
I'm just throwing that out there.
They found that it was unreasonable and disproportionate given the size of the company and what's typical for where he lives and where the company is based. Let's see here. I don't know. This is a long article. They did a lot of work on this.
Yeah.
Even they talked to, because here's something interesting. ProPublica went to every building on the island and knocked on every door.
Okay, that's
how they found that, like, there were 77 people. They found that most people use Starlink. They talked to a gamer who plays Overwatch and Fortnite. He uses Starlink. Like, he doesn't use the fiber that's there. Apparently, they tried to use the fiber, but the fiber can cost up to $500 a month on the island. So nobody is paying for it. It's subsidized, and I agree it's mandated. It needs to be there. Maybe they need to maintain it in some way or somehow, right? Probably a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
Given that the alternative is Starlink or whatever. But it's an interesting dichotomy. I'm not... this is above my pay grade, but I do think it's an interesting dichotomy compared to the idea that they're saying, well, rural speed goals are an affront to net neutrality and
because it would be
else.
Unfair if we gave people who lived in cities better connectivity than we gave those in rural areas. So we're just not going to mandate any connectivity standard so everyone can suck together.
But here,
America.
We'll just give somebody... How many employees are there at Adak Eagle? It's a $3 million company, according to ProPublica. How many employees do they have that maintain it? Because you're right. If they have a networking engineer, they need to make their money. I'm not saying that they don't.
Right.
I'm not saying that the president of the company doesn't need to get his bag. But is this something that's, like, feasible or necessary?
Yeah.
Are there alternatives that are cheaper? Are there different ways that we can mitigate the price? Because as it stands with the current population of this island, I mean, the cost of maintaining it comes out to be like $14,000 per person or whatever like that. And nobody uses it. I guess I don't know how many people use it, but I don't. But I think like
Yeah.
literally they knocked on everybody's door and found that it was like virtually no one.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, worth a read because yeah,
Yeah.
worth a read because it's interesting at the very least. Devil's advocate Michael says, would the mandate apply to this island? Everyone would need 1 gigabit speed. It would be interesting to see what they're getting. I mean, they have fiber, but
They have fiber, but you said the main backhaul was satellite.
right, I guess so.
So,
It's worth a read because, like everything that ProPublica does, it's very well researched. They went to the island directly and talked to people that lived there. Um, there was apparently like one guy who was paying for the service, but he hadn't used it in years because he had cut the line and was using Starlink, um, which is hilarious to me. But anyway, so there you go.
yeah.
Nothing else to say about that.
Yeah.
I think you're right. You brought up some points I hadn't really considered.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good on one hand too to have a alternative to Starlink, right? Just having like one company is probably not good.
Right.
Um, you know, but damn, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, they get fiber. I kind of want to know if those places are for sale. I'm.
I guarantee you, Jeff, you can get one if you want.
I probably
All you have
could.
to do is fly to the island and live there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're going to keep you away. I don't think they're owned by anybody anymore. Like, look at the pictures in that article. Like, every building is dilapidated
Yeah.
except for the ones that people live in. I don't really know what people do for a living there, you know?
Yeah.
They probably just vibing. Let's look this up.
Honestly, I could go for a little bit of vibing for a couple of years. Just.
Adak Island, Wikipedia. It's shorter than most small town Oregon Wikipedia pages. Wow, it's located way out there on the Andalusian island chain.
It's way out on the archipelago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da. Let's see what it says. Due to harsh winds, vegetation, blah, blah, blah. Highest point is 4,000 feet. It's snow covered for the greater part of the year. There was a naval station there, closed in 1997. Population at its peak was 6,000 in 2020. The census was 171. It's a popular hunting destination. I think we could just get them. Let's go to Google Maps.
Oh wow, it is way out there. Okay.
Yeah, you're remote.
Zillow has no listings.
Well, again, I think you can just go live there if you want. Where's the town on Google Maps? That's what I want to know. I'm trying to zoom in and look. Anybody point me to the right place? It's got to be coastal. Here it is. Adak. It's kind of on the north,
Yeah.
right in that little...
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah. Oh, there seems to be a hotel.
At least for Zillow.
They got a fire department.
Can you believe the fire department spent $340,000? My God. That's what I equate that to. Is
Yeah,
like
I mean, goddamn, when you put it that way, I'm like, yeah, I guess these people deserve fiber. I'm like, gee, what is ProPublica's problem?
like look, I'm all for finding government waste. I'm all for finding waste of any funds. But you say 340,000, that doesn't even move the needle if there's more than 3 houses involved. Because that's what public services cost.
Oh my God. Why did I bring this story to your attention, Jeff? I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. Well, anyway, they have a tavern.
Oh, there you go.
Tundra Tavern.
What's the tap house like?
Honest, the tavern, by the way, it's just a fridge with beer in it.
At least give me a
Nope.
tap list if you're gonna tease me like that. Like, come on.
Do they have taps? I don't see any taps in the pictures. It's all bottles and cans. They have food though. Yeah, it literally just looks like a room with bottles and cans. There is a pool table though.
I will say it shocked the ever-loving crap out of me when we went to Taiwan and found a guy from Seattle who had started a tap house, and he was brewing his own beer and also had like Rogue and Widmer on
a
tap.
bunch of Oregon brews. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, bro, let's go.
That was amazing. All right,
Yeah,
couple more
that was
stories before we close.
Okay, let's do it.
The AI crunch comes for us all. And I've been talking about similar things, but it's really nice to have a very visceral and real example of even companies that aren't involved in AI, but just are simply hardware manufacturers that are trying to make retail products, are not only suffering, but are starting to go under and discontinue products because not only can they not get supply, but even if they could get supply of memory and storage products and things like that, their customers aren't willing to pay the inflated prices. Look no further than Pine64. Pine64, single board computer company. A lot of people think of them like as a Raspberry Pi competitor. They make a lot of Linux single board computers, makerspace, proto boards, things like that. They also make the PineTab and the PineNote, both being e-ink displays and note-taking devices, which are pretty cool things. I don't think they have a picture on this page right here, but in fact, let me go PineNote. There it is.
Is this related to the product that we were looking at?
So this is the PineNote, an e-ink note-taking tablet.
Cool.
Really cool device. Pine64 has said, other than their microcontrollers, they are discontinuing all products because they can't afford memory or storage.
Holy crap. Wow.
This is the ramification of the RAM crisis. Wow. It's companies like this literally going under, literally laying off people, stopping making products because those products are no longer tenable for retail. This is the first of many.
That's wild.
The Raspberry Pi is $300 today. $35 computer is $300 today for the exact same reason. Now, the Raspberry Pi still has a market as a proto developer and large ecosystem, but even that is suffering. But yeah, companies like this, they're not making products anymore. A lot of the there's been a lot of furor in the gaming handheld space because companies are raising prices by sometimes double for like, oh, a $250 handheld, that looks amazing. $500? Hell no, I'm not buying that. That's all that increased was the fact that 12 gigabytes of memory quadrupled in price. Because that happened to be a quarter price of the product already.
Jeez.
So products that you could buy for $200, $240 6 months ago are now $500. And unless you're willing to pay that, that company's going out of business because there's no longer a market for their products. It's not just AI companies that are... It's not just PC hardware companies that are suffering. It is literally any smart device, any cell phone manufacturer, any handheld manufacturer, any single board computer. It's coming for all of them.
Yeah.
And I do not like the position of I told you so. Because I could see this in February.
Yeah. Jay says it ain't bursting. Production just needs to catch up. But I'm like,
It
how?
it takes half a
Like
decade to
when?
spin up new fabs for memory.
Yeah,
And the memory business has always been a boom or bust business.
Well, it blows my mind because like didn't the last CEO of Intel like his whole thing was like, yeah, we need more fabs. We're going to spin up production, or
Mm-hmm.
we're going to ramp up production, all this type of stuff. And then he was ousted as CEO.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, will the market support a leader who wants to increase production and not just like continue extracting maximum profits from the production pipeline as it exists?
Mm-hmm.
What do they have to gain by increasing the production pipeline? Like, yeah, they could sell more, but then prices go down and it's more work for less money. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
maybe I'm oversimplifying that. I'm not like a businessman. I'm not in this position, but like,
A little bit, but it's a valid point all the same. I mean, Intel wasn't a memory company outside of Optane, and that was very specialized. But
yeah,
you're looking at companies right now bidding on TSMC fab time for double the going rate it was last year and double the
yeah,
rate it was the year before that. Um, all of a sudden, having a homegrown fab looks pretty good, doesn't it?
yeah. Jay says you're not wrong about the 5 years. That's just how long we might have to wait. I'm like, will that last though? Like, I don't know.
The problem is, do you know any business that can simply pause operation for 5 years and still be around in 5 years other than Nintendo?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't seem good to me, but I'm not, I'm not doing business at this scale, so I have no idea what's
Yeah.
feasible or what's not. And uh, yeah,
Uh, Someone says, I mess around with AI, but it's for fun, and I feel guilt for it every time. Um, don't pay for it. Or self-host it. Do one of those two things. I feel no guilt about running AI self-hosted. Um, I'm not doing things with AI that I wouldn't simply be learning myself. I'm trying to use it as a productivity enhancer. I'm failing in most cases. In almost all cases, I'm failing. I've talked about this before. AI can't write a product review for me because the products I'm reviewing haven't existed before. I review often bleeding edge things. And so
you're the one that the AI will copy in future when other people
I'm
want
feeding
AI
the
reviews.
algorithm more than anything else. Yeah, I can't use AI to write reviews. I can use AI for structuring writing. And I've done that on a couple of very rare occasions. The one I always go back to is I did 4 sponsored videos in sequence for a company last year. And they were all very similar products. They were all just product overviews, and I wanted to structure them in a way that wasn't identical across all 4 videos. And so I said, hey, how can I write my narrative in a different way for each of these? And I got 4 different suggestions, and that's what I wanted. And that helped me write. But you know what I did after I got the suggestion? I sat down and I wrote the script myself. Wasn't AI generated at all. None of my writing has ever been AI generated, nor will it ever be. I don't even use it for suggestions because the suggestions are often full of crap. I hate the suggestions that AI makes.
Yeah.
Because it's not me. It doesn't sound like me. Whenever anyone asks what I do for a living, I tell them I'm a tech writer. Because I don't want to get into the YouTube conversation. I say I write tutorials and guides for enterprise hardware.
Yeah.
But I don't mind using self-hosted AI at all. I feel no qualms about it. Even for generative AI, even for AI art. And that's going to be controversial, but hear me out. If I'm running a D&D campaign for myself and my family, and I simply want to give some visual of what's happening, should I feel guilt that it was trained on the artists when it's never going to leave that room? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with generating AI art and pushing it out to the world and claiming it as your own and trying to charge people for it. That's bullshit. But the cool thing about that is no one's buying it. How do you like that transition? So this coming from 404, they did a nice in-depth article, which was picked up by a lot of outlets. This is looking at one particular industry, AI-generated 3D models. Hey, type your prompt for what you want an AI model or a 3D model to look like, and we will generate that model for you. And you can immediately go and 3D print it or use it as an asset in your game or anything else. And there's no coding work, there's no modeling, it's all just done, right? Very specific niche case. AI-generated meshes, AI-generated 3D assets. 404 Media started digging into this as a larger segment of also digging into, like, is anyone actually buying or making money off of AI-generated art or imagery? And the answer, turns out, is a hard no. Just in this industry, so in 3D generated mesh or AI generated 3D meshes, they asked a very prominent 3D asset company, of your sales this year, which of them are user generated and which of them are AI generated? And the answer they gave in the first sentence of the article: CG Trader, an online marketplace for 3D assets, found that 1 in 6 models uploaded to the site these days is AI generated. But the AI generated assets only account for 1 out of every $90 of revenue on the site. We are seeing more and more AI generated art and imagery, but it is a shrinking portion of the pie that will probably remain at sub 2% levels.
Well, the imagery and all of that, like the generative AI garbage, it's always felt the most similar to like NFTs in that way. And like, remember when every industry executive couldn't shut the heck up about how
Ubisoft, NFTs are the future of gaming.
Yeah, you know.
How'd that work for Ubisoft?
Yeah, seriously. And it's like the same people even. They're like, well, you know, the generative AI process is inseparable from our mission as a developer of, you know, game products or whatever. I target game companies a lot because you hear the shit nonstop from them. But yeah, it's just funny. It's like, I don't know, man. You just got to get your... First, you wanted this thing that was like inscrutably unique and individualistic, and ownership could only be maintained by one person and pass from, you know, one person to the next only via some, you know, blockchain authorized transaction. And now you want a thing that is just so like, you know, freewheeling that it can pump out the most generic garbage of all time. So what is it? Like, you want the secondary market for unique, one-of-a-kind digital assets that you can dip your fingers into, or you just want crap that you can put into your game without paying anybody to make it?
Yeah.
Anyway, makes me laugh.
Which again, I've always stood up for AI gen things, as I think they are a tool. I think they are a tool in the creative process, within the creative process. They should not be the output of that creative process, though. Nothing against storyboard artists, but this is one that I always come back to is, could I, if I was a movie maker, a small film director, an independent film director, or even for a YouTube channel, if I wanted to shoot a short film, a 12-minute film, or something like that, rather than... I'm a terrible artist, rather than paying a storyboard artist, could I generate the scenes, just like still shots of scenes that I want to go shoot? Is that a reasonable use of generative AI? is if I wasn't going to pay a storyboard artist in the first place, because I'm a small independent filmmaker with maybe $100,000 budget, do I get on Fiverr and pay a storyboard artist? How many revisions of that do I get? Or do I just use AI image generation and say behind, over the shoulder camera angle looking up at our main protagonist and use it as a guide for the shot that you want to get in camera? Because that's the whole point of a storyboard. Is it a tool in that creative process? Even though it's stealing from other artists? Like, it's a sliding scale, right? At what point does the output from AI become the output that you're producing? And I think it's when you just say render and go. Rather than, hey, guess what? Every single thumbnail that I do is AI assisted. Not that it has AI gen in it, but I use AI to crop myself out so I can color splash the background. That's an AI tool. Am I a tool for using that? Like, at what point in the sliding scale does it become acceptable? Because there is an acceptable use, and we just haven't found it yet. So
yeah, it depends. I don't know.
Yeah, again,
it's a slippery slope.
There's no best thing ever or worst thing ever answer, and so it's hard to answer.
I'm in the very fortunate position where I don't have to use it for anything, and I'll just continue not.
Yeah,
it's like there's nothing I mean, there are lots of things I'm sure could make my work faster, but I don't have to make my work faster. Right. I get paid by the hour in a lot of instances, and so it's like I'm just going to continuing on, and I feel like I have identified some value in the reputation I've cultivated for not using it, and so
yeah,
I'm going to continue cultivating that.
Yeah.
As far as people finding suitable use cases or whatever, go off. The internet and technology has always been a wild west.
Yeah.
And there's always been, I'm always slow to uptake technology to begin with. I'm really waiting for widescreen to go away.
I needed so bad. I had a company that was going to send me one, and then they never did. And my end goal was to give this monitor to you. There's a company that makes an 18:16 aspect ratio.
Hell yeah. That's epic. Well, it's funny. I had a good laugh, looking at, because the Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
The film that's everybody's talking about. Well, and IMAX aspect ratio is like 1.4 to 1.
It's
or
135 to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm just like, hell yeah, we've come back. This guy filmed his entire...
It's in 4x3, bitch!
Yeah, let's go! It's so funny. And it's hilarious because it's considered like the superior, film experience. I don't know. I didn't see the movie in IMAX, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't have one in Oregon. So
yeah, we've got the quote unquote LiMAX or whatever they call it, or the faux max maybe up at Bridgeport.
Yep,
it's a huge screen, but it's not IMAX.
Yeah.
I went and saw Interstellar at that one when it came out. There's a few scenes that blew me away, but nothing compared to the true IMAX experience. You know, one of these days.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation around what is the useful or what is the acceptable use of tools. Because we've gone through this in all industries to death about what is the acceptable amount of airbrushing in a magazine ad in the 80s. Before Photoshop. What is the acceptable use of all of these different aspects of Photoshop as they've gone through the years? What is the acceptable use of CGI in movies? The acceptable use is, can you make it good? I think is what it turns out to be. Original Matrix, mostly practical effects. Matrix 2 and Matrix 3, a lot of CGI effects. Leaned into it a lot. Leaned away from practical. Guess what? They didn't age nearly as well.
Yeah.
In a movie about AI.
Yeah. It's interesting. I heard somebody one time say about AI. They said, at the dawn of the personal computer, there was a fear that like secretaries were going to go extinct.
Yeah.
But when you break down the job market anymore, there's more secretaries, quote unquote, not literally, but there are more secretaries in essence or in effect than ever before, because all the personal computer did was increase the amount of paperwork that there was.
Yeah.
And AI and LLMs in general, they speculate is going to reach the same equilibrium where we look at the disastrous effect that it might have on the job market, but in essence, it's actually going to just create more work than ever before because, I don't know. I don't know how that'll work because, I'm not going to read every single press release by AI or LLM forward companies.
We have seen entire career paths eliminated within my lifetime.
Yeah.
Let's think back to the conversation we started with Walmart implementing kiosks for job applications. Yeah. Guess what? It used to be someone's job to screen job applications. That job was outsourced to a computer 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and I would argue, I think that, and it takes a while for people to come up. I don't think anybody thought that was a good move necessarily. But then you find the ways to play the game and do all that. And now it's been outsourced even more to, AI and LLMs or agentic AI, whatever. Mm-hmm. And now you have new problems that eventually people will sort out the game to, I'm sure. I'm in a lucky position that I don't have to find a job right now. I get to just keep doing what I'm doing. But, I remember 15 years ago when it really was like, well, everybody screens their jobs through a matrix. Yep. So if they've got this in their job description, make sure you put that in your resume. If they've got this on the whatever, make sure you put that in your resume. And it would like literally rank you, give you points based on how many times you hit the appropriate
buzzwords,
keywords.
Yep.
Yeah. So who knows? We'll find that new equilibrium again. Yeah. I'm not enthusiastic about it.
But, I haven't had to... I've interviewed a couple of times, but I haven't really had to search for a job where I've been out of a job since 2007. It's a very lucky position that I've been in, that I haven't had to explore the job market in 19 years. I understand how out of touch I am when it comes to that. If YouTube decided to demonetize all of my videos forever and stop recommending me, I would have to apply for jobs, and most likely the job that I would get is because I know someone in the industry who would hire me. I would say, hey, I can come do BR for your company. And they would go, okay, can you start tomorrow? And that would be my interview. It's an incredibly privileged position, and I fully understand that. But if I had to go out and apply for a job, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Well, it sucks. I don't have to apply for a job, but I can see what it looks like. I got friends who are looking for jobs. I'm one of those guys too that's constantly keeping an eye on what's out there and what's going on and what people want. But yeah, it is what it is. We got to live in the world no matter what. So
yep.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
As far as the generative AI, almost zero value.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that means, but
yeah. While it does accelerate some things, it also creates more work in other areas. It is more expensive to implement. If I wanted to locally generate AI images for a storyboard, am I going to pay some random artist $5,000 on Craigslist, or am I going to spend $10,000 building myself a local AI server? or $20,000 as it were today to get something worthwhile. Where do you spend your money at? And what is that artist doing today? Are they doing other things, or did they find storyboard work elsewhere with someone who valued their time? It's a whole conversation, and I don't know the answer to that.
And there's so many dimensions to it too. Do you need a storyboard?
Yeah.
It's like, can your storyboard just be like a list of bullet points that you write down? You have photography skill. You could probably even like put on a little puppetry show and storyboard out some stuff that way. I mean, it's just, there's so many alternatives.
Yeah.
I'll never begrudge somebody for, being inventive, doing what they got to do.
I never begrudge anyone for trying to use tools that are readily available to them. And I fully understand the artist side of things as well, both as a musician and an artist and a creator and someone who very livelihood is being constantly threatened by incurring AI and things like that. The number of YouTube shorts that come up that are supposed reviews that are like B-roll stock footage or even AI generated crap with an AI voiceover of like, the all new Ryzen AI Halo is a landmark in computing technology. And it's like, I don't think that's going to put me out of work, but all the same, I also hate seeing that someone is going through the effort of making that video.
Well, and hey, now if they click on it, it counts as a view.
Now within the first 2 seconds, it counts as a view, whereas it took 30 seconds before. So that's great, right?
Can't imagine who that's going to benefit. Anyway, we'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah. Might have some more Meshtastic stuff to talk about next week. We'll see how that development goes. I did get my first node up and running today, and reached as far south as Klamath Falls and as far north as Seattle.
Hell yeah.
So on a number of various hops. But so I'm going to have fun playing with that over the next couple of weeks as I get everything up and going and hopefully eventually turn it into a video. So
sweet.
Stay tuned for that. It is after 8 o'clock, so Rhett, anything good of the order before we close things out?
Good of the order. Not that
or
I
bad
can
of
think
the order. Like,
well, that's just constant and unending, Jeff.
Right.
Seeing as how everybody still has a life to lead after this. No, if you guys just want to follow what I'm doing, I got a Daggerheart podcast / D&D podcast over at theend.com or dndpodcast.org. Putting out episodes weekly. My band is doing stuff. Just got out of the studio last weekend. We're called the Marionberries. You can check out themarionberries.com and see what we're all about. I bought an accordion last week, so that was cool. We'll see how the accordion treats me. But otherwise, I'll be back on the show in a couple weeks.
Sweet.
Seeing all your smiling, beautiful faces.
Excellent. A couple super chats before we close. Jay chimes in with another $10. Thank you very much, Jay. Same regarding AI as art is code. Anything I build with AI, I immediately open source. 1, because it was trained on tons of GPL code, and 2, I'm not arrogant enough to think that I can charge for that. It's not novel. Yeah, no, I like that. Like, I did the same thing. I did vibe code one piece of a project. This was a year after I published it, but I went, you know what? This could use one more thing. And I vibe coded a service as a watchdog service to keep this service alive that I hadn't thought of. That this was my VPN gateway server. And if the VPN tunnel for any reason died, it didn't automatically start back up. And I went, something should make it start back up. Let's create a watchdog that after 60 seconds of no connectivity will close the VPN connection and open a new one with a new tunnel. And it worked. And I went, here's the code. Good luck. I didn't code this, but I did verify that it works. So if this works for you, awesome. I'm not a coder, but you know what? At the same time, I was able to spin something up that worked. So it should be free. It should be open source. It should be available. And now it's a service that works, and it's a service that I rely on here at home. So, and it's been working great. Deal. One more by Michael for $10. Thank you so much. Is AI here to stay, or is it the next pet rock? AI will be here to stay indefinitely, but in what capacity, we're not sure yet, because what's the use case? It's great for coding. It's great for... it is great for some things at accelerating human knowledge and human workflow. It's great for coding. It is great as an assistive tool, even for like art creation, even in like Photoshop. Photoshop has had AI tools for a couple of decades now. And those tools are getting better. And those tools are making faster work of manual processes. Those tools, like Corridor Key for green screening, have used AI training and agentic data to create what is essentially a perfect green screen key and eliminate the work log of a visual effects editor in that workflow. Is it AI? Yes. Does it work? Also freaking yes. And they also generated the images themselves to generate the training data. And so it's like the most effective and ethical AI program that you could have. It's AI, but it's also one of the best tools available now. So it's going to be available. It is going to be here. It's going to be used. It's going to be used by a lot of different industries. It's not going to be all-encompassing. It's not going to be everything. And it's certainly not going to make you not have to write emails anymore, because have you read the emails AI tries to write? That is horseshit. But it's going to be somewhere in between. And where that line is, I don't know.
Perfect.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching episode 446 of Talking Heads. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech talk right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, join the Patreon, patreon.com/craftcomputing, and that is the only way to get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can hang out with myself as well as all the other hosts from Talking Heads and the awesome community that hangs out there throughout the week. Also check out craftcomputing.store for all of our official merch, pint glasses, whiskey stones, coasters, etc., all made and created and designed right here in-house. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next week. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.